here. Like I said, it happened this past weekend, and it's coming back this weekend, and we hope that you will look for the spots to be right there at the venue Creekside. Am I right? All right, so let's go ahead and welcome in a couple of our guests this afternoon. Brian Welch is here with us, and also Connie Gatlin is with us. Good afternoon to both of you guys. How are you doing?
Outstanding. Good afternoon. Just great.
Well, we're so glad to have you guys in the studio. I've been hearing raves about this past weekend's performances of Bright Star. So let's start from the beginning. Should we start with Connie there, Brian?
Absolutely.
All right, so Connie, tell us a bit about Bright Star and what it's all about.
Okay, I was lucky enough to see Bright Star pre-pandemic in New York City, and I just totally enjoyed the show. In talking with my daughter afterward, I said, Cleveland, Tennessee would love this show. And that's why I kept wanting to bring it to the Cleveland audiences. It's a great story. It's based on an actual true story. Edie Burkell and Steve Martin are the authors of the music and the book and the lyrics. They are, it opened in New York the same year as Hamilton, so Hamilton kind of sucked all the air out of New York City, but this one is making the rounds across the country. It is a story that's set in the North Carolina mountains, not far from where we live here. These folks are folks that you know as your neighbors and friends and co-workers. These are people you can relate to. The music is great. It is all bluegrass and country flavored, and we have a great little band that's come together to do this. Kyle Elrod is the band leader and has been with me since he was 15, I think, at Bradley High School.
He was bragging on you guys when he was here the other day talking about his SPCA event.
There you go. Yes, indeed. He's very kind, and he's a great arts-minded community person. Just proud to have him as a friend and a co-worker in this show. The cast is... They're folks just like Brian here and other folks who have dedicated a hunk of their lives to coming together to work, to pull this project together and share it with the folks who end up in the audience, who are lucky enough to end up in the audience.
Now, I know we had performances last weekend again at venue Creekside, and that's going to be coming up this weekend again, right, Brian? Is that correct?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Thursday through Saturday are 7:30, and Sunday's a 2:30 matinee.
What would you say? You've been a part of this. Tell me your take on this. What are you taking away from this? What are you hearing from people in the audience after the show's been over?
Well, actually, this is our only weekend that we've got coming up on this one. That was another show that they had.
Okay, you're right. Okay,
but this is our only weekend, which is one thing we want to make super clear. So a lot of people normally anticipate that there are 2 weekends.
Yeah,
so
I guess that's what I was doing.
Well, that anticipation's good when you're using ketchup.
Yeah.
But it's a phenomenal story. My take on it, and I'll give an example if I may. Connie is familiar with this as well. For my wife and I, we went to the Barter Theater in Virginia for our anniversary. And in the theater there, just a story that most people would say a simple arts community, that story during that show that we watched, which we have been to countless shows throughout our marriage, 32 years, I left there being inspired. I came back, made 2 changes as my business plan because of what I saw in that program. I did something different in my spiritual life, and I did something different in my marriage, all from what I got from that experience of that show.
Wow.
That's how important local theater and art is. It really makes a difference. And I said many times, Dwayne, people, we've all are Christians and been in church our whole life and been a part of that. But the definition of ministry is to use your faith to share with somebody, and that's done in programs just like this. And this story is a phenomenal story, a story of redemption, of forgiveness. I'm getting goosebumps as I talk about it. This is, and I really hate to give this bit of information up, but while we rehearse, and we currently are putting 3 hours a night, 4 and 5 days a week in this thing right now, and Saturdays, there are many times on the stage that I get cold chills and goosebumps from seeing the actors and the feelings that they put into into this about the story and how it speaks to my heart. It's a phenomenal time, and we're excited and can't wait to perform.
Again, we're talking about the musical Bright Star coming to Cleveland this weekend. It's one weekend only, as I've been corrected there.
4
You
days.
get tickets to Bright Star performances can be purchased online, if I'm mistaken. Is that right?
ClevelandCityBallet.com, and if they'll click on the day, then they can purchase a ticket. If they do click on that day and it doesn't allow them to purchase a ticket, that means tickets are sold that day, and then they have to pick another day.
All right, so we definitely suggest people do that. I'll do it this afternoon. Now, Connie, this is accumulation. Of course, we're talking about this, but art is here.
Yes.
As I was doing research, kind of pull all of this together with Bright Star and everything else that I know is very passionate to you.
Gladly. Thank you for the opportunity. Art is Here Partnership is a group that came together kind of generically. Nobody put it in place. It just kind of grassroots grew up. Art is Here Partnership is designed to call attention to the fact and to help make our community much more aware of the fact we don't have a civic, city or county visual or performing arts center. Lots of smaller towns around us do. They've just pursued it over the years, and it is such an integral part of life. Art is Here Partnership, we have pulled together artists who are leading the orchestra and the pops, who are leading other theater groups, who are leading the dance studios in town, who are leading other musician groups. It's a combination of all efforts of these artists, okay, to come together, to speak us with one voice and to say, hey, Cleveland needs this. Cleveland deserves this. Cleveland should have this. Our children who are coming behind us and their grandchildren need a place that identifies the arts as being an important part of life.
Absolutely. You know, it's a thing when you think about the musicals that all of our schools do.
Yes.
I know that's something I'm sure you guys get out and participate with those quite often.
Absolutely.
Actually, we had Ocoee Middle School in here. Mr. Tapke was in here with a couple of students doing Matilda Juniors, what they're doing. And the kids just love it. It brings out a side of them that they said, I asked them the question, would you imagine yourself doing this even a couple of years ago? And they're like, no, I would not believed that I would have got up in front of my classmates and acted and done this and sing and danced and had such a good time. It's such a great way to bring that out of people and maybe get them into something that they normally wouldn't participate in. And as adults, we need to continue to nurture that that as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. It is a vehicle for expanding your soul.
That's the word I was looking for, yeah.
It's a vehicle for expanding your soul, expanding your brain power, conquering challenges. You know, all of these people, most of these people on Cage have not performed professionally before. A few of them have, but it is an experience that will affect you the rest of your life in a positive manner.
Again, the popular musical Bright Star will be here in Cleveland this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the show times. We're going to have it here at the venue Creekside. Connie, what is your vision for the future? I know we talked about Arts is Here. What do you want a couple years down the road? What is your vision for this?
My vision is a place, a creative arts place where folks can gather to hear our local musicians perform in concert through the orchestra and the pops, where folks can come and relish in the experience of a theater presentation, whether it be a straight play or a musical. There are things happening on that stage that you will not soon forget. It's a great human touching story, as most good theater is. There needs to be a place where young artists, young visual artists, painters, sculptors can come and have classes and display their work, and art galleries such as for that. We need a place. Cleveland needs a creative, arts-based place, and that is my vision, that in a couple of years we can identify a place, that we can begin some sort of capital campaign to renovate a place, and then we can share that with the community. You know, as an old arts teacher, I could talk all day long about the benefits of the arts in every way you experience. It has become an integral part of life in our middle schools and even our elementary schools. When I began doing this, years ago.
Day before yesterday.
Yeah, Bradley High School had never done a musical. They had done some one-act plays, but it had been 10 years since they had actually done a full-length play. And I literally sat in the cafeteria. I was doing a show called Little Abner, and there were no kids to draw from because no one had done one.
Right.
I sat in the cafeteria, and I watched for a tall, dark-headed, good-looking young man.
And here comes Brian. Oh, no, that wrong day, wrong time.
Wrong day, wrong. This was actually Ashley Onby.
Really?
And I went up to where he was having lunch, and I told him about the show, and I said, "Can you come to auditions?" And then I said, "Well, can you sing?" And he said, "Well, yes." So the rest is history. He did Little Abner,
yeah.
And he's very gracious about the impact that it had on his life coming on. The arts affect us in ways that nothing else does, and that's why it is so crucial. I love the story of the small Kansas town that was blown away, totally blown away by a tornado. And when they all gathered back together in a parking lot to decide how they were going to rebuild their town, they built the arts center first.
Wow.
They said, this is the first thing we need to build.
Awesome. You know, Connie, I've never really met you in person, but I know your passion for this. So it's a pleasure meeting you today.
Lovely to meet you.
And that's why I wanted to kind of get this out there, because people that may have heard your name, they need to see the passion that you've got, not only on the radio, but on Mixed TV as well. If people want to be a part of this vision, we're going to get back to the other thing, but I think this is just as important.
Sure.
If they want to be a part of that vision and get on the bandwagon, I guess maybe the best way to say it, what do we need to do to get this to be a reality?
First thing to do is to go to artisherefacebook.com.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page. You can go there, sign up, enlist, join groups. We have a group that this Artists Here partnership meets quarterly through the year. We've been at this for about, we began 4 years ago. We've been doing active meetings in the last 2 years, and you can go to that Facebook page and become a part of. This is an absolutely open group. Everyone is welcome, and it is going to take voices from all over the region to make this happen. You know,
All right.
voices.
I wanted to make sure we got that out there.
Thank you.
That's very, very important for this to continue to grow. Of course, we want to have a great weekend with Bright Star. Brian, it sounds like lots and lots of practice, lots of hard work. And the thing that I always find out about musicals that I think a lot of people, that they see the beautiful people on the stage performing, singing, dancing, acting, whatever you want to do. But the people behind the scenes, boy, do they not come important as well?
Just as important. They are. They help us. They're vital, and yet they don't get to use their avenue is behind the scenes.
Yes.
And it's so imperative to have them. And we have some of the most talented people with gracious hearts and a lot of volunteers. It's just incredible to see.
Well, Brian, tell me a little bit about what you do in the musical. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about your character?
Sure. I am the father to the lead girl named Alice. She's one of the love interests. I am her father, and I'm sort of the old-fashioned. This story bounces back and forth between 1920 and 1940. And I'm kind of the hard stick father who's a little hard on her, and then years later softens up, and we make our relationship. But for a while there, I ride her pretty hard.
Yeah. So does this have any relationship to your life at all? I mean,
she will say yes, I will say no.
Again, the popular musical Bright Star coming to Cleveland this weekend, one weekend only. You've got to get out there and see it. Now, I guess maybe the reason I was thinking that it was a couple of different weekends is I was noticing on News Channel 3, they did an article on you guys as well, and they were showing some scenery. Was that from a previous performance? Or?
No, what I would like to say, I'm glad you mentioned that. I wanted to bring that up. Two things. Number one, that's on their Instagram account and their Facebook on News Channel 3, and if the audience would like to go and look at that, they'll get some live rehearsal footage that our cast had made, so it shows about that. And then number two, also, if you're interested in dining, the Bald-Headed Bistro, which is now True, if you'll go down there and eat and then show us your ticket, you get special seating at the venue and one parking lot, 2 stops. Pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal, yeah, especially any of the nights you want to come out with that. Tell me a little bit about either one of you are the director of this.
She is sitting beside me as we speak.
Well, Connie, tell me about directing something like this. I mean, how many have you done, and how special is this one?
I I've directed my first play in Cleveland in 1976 at Bradley High School, and continued to direct theater there. I branched out and have directed, a lot of community theater.
Right.
This one is especially close to my heart. It's just, like I say, it really struck a hometown chord when I saw it. I love directing plays. I've had more fun with the script and good people paying attention, and just ideas come and you try this and you try that. So for an old director, it's fun that the ideas still come and you can implement them on a challenging little stage.
Right.
But I think we've just done great jobs. I will tell you that it is absolutely a partnership situation. There are show choir directors at Cleveland and Bradley and Lake Forest who have contributed to this.
Yes.
There are all kinds of groups. The sponsors that have come on board have been tremendous. And musicals are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
They
You
are.
have to pay royalties, and there are all kinds of costs involved. The set reflects all kinds of dollars, mainly by donors and construction people like Brian and Fred Carter and Kevin, who had the original vision. It truly takes a team, and it truly takes a group of people who are willing to invest in partnership. And we're creating all this for the moments that an audience sits together and is astonished or is laughing or, is touched by the situations that this particular play involves. It is, as for a director, it's just fun.
Yeah.
All right, folks, if we haven't got you excited about this in this last 10-minute conversation, I don't know, we're going to get, you need to check your pulse, pull over, because we've got some passionate people in the studio here today, and they want you to come out. A lot of hard works went into this. Come out and support the arts. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to go back and give you the show times and how you can get tickets in just a minute. It's going to be held at the venue Creekside, and we are looking forward to you coming out and bringing the family and enjoying this.
Agree.
All right, so Brian, give us the details one more time about the dates and times.
All right, so the 31st and the 1st and the 2nd, that'll be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 7:30, and then Sunday, matinee at 2:30, and all tickets are online, clevelandcityballet.com, and just click on the day that you want, and then you'll put your email in, and it'll send you a virtual ticket, and bring that with you, and then you can come in the door.
All right.
And if there are any tickets left, those will be at the door.
Yeah, but they will be at the door if there's some left. Connie, I was going to say this, something that you're probably used to doing. You get the last word. So whatever you want to close with.
In rehearsals, I believe in praying over everything. And so in rehearsals, we're always praying at the last word as we come together every night is playing. The cast is great. The show is great. Don't miss this opportunity, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here in Cleveland. So come on and join us. Have a good time. We're going to raise a ruckus.
Thanks so much for coming in and talking about Bright Star. Again, don't miss it, folks, right here in Cleveland at the venue Creekside, Thursday through Sunday. Website one more time, Brian.
clevelandcityballet.com.
There you go, folks. Thanks so much, guys. Great to meet you, Connie. Great to see you, Brian. And I know you guys are going to knock it out of the park, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get to some music here for ourselves right now. Stay with us on Mix 104.1.
We go together.